Merry Christmas to those that celebrate it, and Happy Holidays to those that don't. Today we've got a much more fun-focused Christmas video, because today is actually Christmas. We're going to be hunting reindeer with some guns that we've given a little bit of the Christmas spirit to, which, if you don't know what I mean by that, we've essentially given every single one of our rifles a paint job that is very fitting for Christmas, and I think they all are going to be quite a bit of fun to use. So let's start getting into just blasting some of these reindeer. Unfortunately, this glare is pretty bad, but I think we should still be able to get a shot in there. And that will do it for the first reindeer of the day. Might as well take down this one as well. I haven't really done a lot of holiday themed videos in the past, but I figured today was a great time to start since we did get the gun system in the Hunter Call of the Wild in one of the recent updates, and I feel like it really does just open the door to so many more different possibilities for a special holiday themed videos. I actually did want to make today's video a multiplayer hunt for reindeer. However, with the bug that's going on currently that causes you to lose zones on your map whenever you join a multiplayer of the same type of map, so if I joined Medved, there's a chance that I'd lose a few zones on my Medved, which is why we decided not to do that. I'm really hoping that bug will be fixed soon, but as of now, we're going to kind of steer clear of multiplayer on maps where we're currently doing grinds on, which right now we're on the moose grind here on Medved, so we didn't want to risk losing any zones for the moose, so we are just going to be doing this in single player today. So the chances of finding anything too crazy are pretty low, as I've seen most of my reindeer the last time that I hunted them here on the channel. This should be the final one that we took down, a nice level 4 at 262. To be honest, it still blows my mind that level 4s can score this low in silver and so far away from gold. It's always been kind of mind-blowing, but I'm hoping that one day they will kind of make some improvements to the true racks on the reindeer, because the reindeer could be a really cool species, and unfortunately I think they just are lacking a little bit in their true racks. I do think they could be phenomenal if they put a little bit of time into reworking them. So that would be a good example of a much nicer looking level 4 reindeer. I think that is going to be our next target, and what better one to use the 270 on than this guy. This has got to be one of the more interesting looking guns that we did today. I like the white barrel on the 270 with the red stock for kind of a Christmas themed gun. There is some very interesting combinations that we have been able to make, and I think this is one of my favorites, though the M1 does look pretty nice as well with this type of a theme to it. But let's go ahead and pull the 270 back out and get lined up on this beautiful reindeer. If we can figure out where he has gone. Oh, there he is. I was looking at the wrong herd. Well, let's get him down. And we might as well try to get down this one also before we spook him off by running up there. That should be good. Yep, he's going down. And a quick shot into this level 4 before it gets spooked off by the lynx that I just spooked into its direction. Well, since this zone is not near any of the moose zones, I think we can honestly just go ahead and smoke a few more of these since they're going to give us another shot. There was one more male. I believe this is him right here, so let's try to sink a shot into him with the 30-06 round from the M1. That should be good enough to take him down. If we can find another male, we will also try to get that, but I think that might have been the last one. And while we are at it, let's go for a couple long-range shots as well, just to switch things up a little. Yeah, that's a dead reindeer. Before we get any further in the video, let me know in the comments what you guys are doing for Christmas. Are you guys hanging out with family? Are you hanging out with friends? Maybe both? Are you opening gifts? Do you just not celebrate Christmas at all? Comment down below and I will pin one of those comments that I see explaining what you've done on your Christmas day. Now let's real quickly grab this guy right here. Another very interesting level 4 once again. There's a lot of those here on Medved Taiga. There is a lot of level 4 reindeer that are just very interesting. This is probably the most normal looking one that we've seen so far. Well, let's go for another semi-long shot on this guy right here. Should be a good vital hit, and it is. He is now going down. This was the one that we took from a pretty long distance, 338 meters. To be honest, I thought it was a little bit farther than that, but I guess not. 246 on the score. We did manage to get vitals, though we also did get vertebrae. Another 300-meter shot on a very small level for reindeer, as well as one of these if we can. Though they do spook off quite fast now, and I'm getting a lot of scope jitter as well, which is not helpful. I've noticed that that has increased a little bit recently. I don't know if it's my mouse just being bad or if it's actually something that has arose in the game, but I'm noticing I'm getting a lot more jitter sometimes whenever I'm using the Argus scope. It very well could just be my mouse, though, as this mouse is not nearly as good as what I originally thought it was. I honestly don't recommend getting the Corsair Glaive. It's not one of their best mice. Corsair makes a lot of really good mice, but the Glaive has kind of been a little bit disappointing. Even if the scope jittering is not part of my mouse and it is just something that is happening in the game, my mouse is starting to... It'll scroll on its own, like I will scroll a couple down and it will scroll one up. It's kind of strange, especially since I just recently got this thing not even a couple months ago. So it is very disappointing. There is our very pathetic level 4 reindeer, 261. Somehow this scores more than one of the level 4s that we killed, which is kind of mind-blowing. They've got some interesting scoring. They definitely do. Another thing that I'm kind of curious about is what type of gifts did you guys get for Christmas this year? Did you guys get anything for hunting or anything for fishing? Maybe you got a new DLC for Call of the Wild. Let me know what you guys got down in the comments. This honestly might be one of our best reindeer of the day. 288, it's still not even a gold. It's definitely not our best one in score, but it's probably one of the nicer looking ones that we've killed. Well, this right here is one problem I have been running into trying to hunt these reindeer, is the fact that lynx once again have a drink time on Medved and they drink at virtually the same time. I don't think it's the exact same time, but it's close enough to where they do overlap. So yeah, that's always gonna be a problem. Let's actually see right here. Lynx is 3 to 6, and I believe the reindeer is 4 to 8. So you only get a couple hours where there's not gonna be lynx terrorizing your reindeer. That is another pretty solid level 4 reindeer right there. I think this one actually does have a chance of making gold. I don't think this one is going to trick us like some of the others have. I think we actually do have ourselves a pretty nice one right there. And right next to our tent, we actually have ourselves another reindeer. The tent's actually not rendering in at the moment, but it is virtually right next to it. So this is going to be an easy one to go claim. Let's actually use the 270 on it because of that. And we hit one of the females as well. That wasn't intended. Here is the first one that we took down. This will score 314, another gold reindeer. We have been struggling to get some of these, so it is nice to see another gold pop up. Not too bad. There is easily our best reindeer of the day, and nicest looking at that. 350.77. Sadly, that did hit the very bottom of the estimate, but still the best thing that we have found on today's video. And not a bad looking reindeer. I think this is where they start to look kind of good, is when you get into that 350 plus range. That's when they start looking more like what I would expect reindeer to look like. You know, I really hope that one of these days they do an entire overhaul of the Trurex for the reindeer. I've talked about this many times in the past, but I really do think it would benefit the reindeer so much and just make them a much more popular species. If you look at the reindeer of other hunting games, they almost always look 10 times more impressive than the ones that we have here in the Hunter Call of the Wild. Really, the only ones that look good are the diamonds, and some of those are just barely looking good. So it would be great to see some larger reindeer get introduced. Maybe a reindeer great one with just an absolutely massive rack would be a cool addition. And maybe some, like, Christmas lights got stuck on it, you know? That'd be kind of hilarious, because that actually is something that can happen in real life. There are definitely some occasions where animals, whether it be a deer or an elk or a reindeer, get into somebody's yard and get some Christmas lights stuck on their antlers when they go to rub on a tree or something like that. It is something that can happen, so I would like to see that as maybe a great one reindeer. I think it could be not only kind of a hilarious way to do one, but also something that totally could happen to them and would look pretty cool. Well, that is a lot of level 4 reindeer right there. Definitely the nicest cluster that we've found all day. There's a couple here that I'd really like to get down on the ground, especially that guy over there and this one right here. Those ones are looking pretty good. All right, let's get lined up on this guy right here and attempt to get that one. I cannot believe that he cooperated like that. I did not expect him to go alert. I thought for sure he was going to dart off the second I fired, but he actually stuck around long enough for us to shoot him. So here is the one that we dropped on the spot. This is definitely the most unique one that we've seen today, I would say. That one's got some really interesting tip-to-tip spread and kind of angling of these beams. That is a cool one, 335, and a pretty awesome looking reindeer. Not gonna lie, that guy might be thumbnail quality. That is a good looking reindeer right there. And now that we have moved further away, we actually do have some reindeer over here that have finally rendered in. So we could probably take down one of these as well. There is a few level 4s. I think we're going to try and get that guy. That one is looking really nice. Here we go. That should do pretty well. And it definitely did. Let's see what this guy ends up scoring right here. Another decent looking one, 336. I think this is the same rack as the other one. Maybe slightly different, but I do think that this actually might be the same rack. Either way, it's another solid looking reindeer. And this right here will be our very final reindeer of the day. And once again, if you guys celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. If you don't, Happy Holidays. This has been quite a fun video to make, and it's been nice to kind of just casually hunt some reindeer with some very Christmas-like weapons. But I appreciate everybody that watched, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!